Alrighty guys, this is Snugs on Blitz. I'm back with another video for you today. So, part 2 of the surprise summer auction, which Wargaming has never done in all the time it's been out. But they decided to do this year. Nice little bonus, but were the tanks great in the first round? There were 2 tanks worth picking up if you ask me. I was surprised, to be honest, that Revelise was not picked up when it was at its final price, 5K. I thought was a very good price for quite a decent tier 8 tank. Although it's not really for newer players, it's still a very enjoyable tank, and I think pros should have definitely picked that up. It's a shame it's not more appreciated. Anyway, those tanks have come and gone, and now we move on to round 2. So what have we got? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but most of the tanks today are not great. Yeah, these are not really for newer players. Even the pro players, most of these tanks kind of stink. However, there are 2 standouts. So, which are they? Well, you're going to see in a minute. Anyway, I'll give you my thoughts on the tanks and what price I think you can pick them up for and whether you should pick them up. Starting off with the WZ112-2. Basically, it's a poor man's Object 252. Object 252 has always been incredible. It's still incredible today. In the right hands, it's a tough tank to deal with. It can bounce a heck of a lot of shells. This tank, not quite as bouncy, but decently bouncy. It's got great reverse, which kind of separates it from all the other IS variants. I would say this is an okay tank, but 7K, come on, more gaming. What are you thinking? Yeah, I would say this will get down to 5K. I mean, I think a fair price would be 4K because it's a little bit old and it has nothing really special about it except that reverse. But at 5K, you might want to consider picking it up. It is kind of noob friendly. But moving on to our second tank, the IS-2SH. Now, I'm not sure if you know this, but what does the SH stand for? It stands for shit. Absolute shite. Yes, this tank is garbage. Absolute garbage. It's never been given any buffs over the years. It's never been, or maybe it got 1 buff, but it's still useless. When it's on my team, I'm like, oh, frick no. And when it's on the enemy team, I'm like, yes, because it's just a tank that everybody seems to be able to pen. The only time it does well is when it just basically isn't a target. That's it. And it's a heavy tank. You need to be able to bait some shots and bounce some shots. Yeah, this tank is not a tank you want to be paying for. I mean, a fair price for this would be 2K. It will get down to, I guess, 3.5K. I don't know. I think it's overpriced at that price. I don't know. I'd go for the Patton, which was 3K last time. I think over this tank any day of the week. Yeah, not a tank you want in your garage. Oh my goodness me. FCM 50T. Well, this is the tank you want to get if you like driving a house around the freaking map. It's huge. It's almost the size of a mouse without any armor, pretty much. I like it. It's a fast tank that rams and doesn't really have the great alpha. Just a few, I don't know, 180 points of damage. It's like a Centurion in that sense, but it doesn't have any armor. It's just too big. You can get ripped apart by pretty much every tank out there. But I like it. Why? Because it helped make me a better player. If you are looking to up your game, I would say this tank would be worth it at, well, it'll get down to 2.5K. I would say that's not a bad deal. Tier 8, 2.5K, I think that's a fair price for this tank, to be honest. But don't even touch it right now. Not even with the 10-foot pole. Can't believe some people have bought this tank and the IS-2SH. Give me a break. It's been 20 minutes, but I guarantee these tanks will not sell out. So no worries, no rush, just wait. The Layering 40T. This is a surprisingly good tank in the right hands. Of all these tanks so far, this is the only one that I consider good. I mean, the WZ112 is decent. I mean, it's good, but it's just not fun, and it's not really anything special. There are other tanks out there that can pretty much do exactly what this can do. But the Lorraine, that is a little bit special. It's fast, 60 kilometers an hour, I believe. It's got 4 shells. You can cause some real problems if you know how to play a mobile tank with no armor. So if I were a new player, I'd go for the WZ112-2. But if I was a good player, decent player around 54 and up, I would go for the Lorraine 40 ton. I think you have a lot of fun with this tank. Just don't push in too aggressively. Wait for your opportunities. Wait till the enemies fire the shot, then push in. Boom, boom, boom. Really cause havoc. Lovely tank, actually. But not for newer players. Still worth getting if you like. What else we got? Wargame, what are you doing to me? This week's tanks. Ugh. Yeah, the STG. Again, not a noob-friendly tank. Why? Because it's freaking low to the ground. It's agile. The gun's pen is meh. So you're going to really struggle against tier 9s and some of those heavily armored tanks like a Tiger 2. I mean, good luck getting through that frontally. No chance, pretty much. Even with Pramo, which is pathetic. You've got to be able to pen some tanks, if some parts of their frame or turret or something. At least if you aim in with Pramo, come on. I mean, it's a medium tank, but it needs something more. Wargaming needs to give this love and the IS-2SH love. They really need it. I think if you give it a little bit more speed or a little bit more pen, I think this tank would be a very enjoyable tank. But right now, and 6.5k, what are they smoking? Hell no, I'd never get this tank over the Lorraine or the WZ-112. Price, it'll get down to, I guess, 4 or 5k. What is it worth? I would say 4k, 3.5, maybe 4, 5. It'll get down to 4.5k. It's a little overpriced, but it does look good with the camo, and it will challenge you. If you like the challenge, maybe go for it. Moving on to the next thing, and now we're talking. Hello, my love, the K91. Now this is an awesome tank. One of the best in tier 9, if you ask me. Absolutely great tank. I don't think it will sell out because it's been around a while. A lot of people have it. A lot of people don't really know how good it is, so they're not rushing to buy it. But this is a tank. It'll get down to 6k, I think, maybe 7k, because people might start buying in around 7 or 8k. I would say if you see it at 7k or less, oh, it's a freaking smoking buy. Oh my gosh, awesome deal right here. But not at this price. No. Don't buy it now. Don't buy it now, for goodness sake. And the creme de la creme, the Super Kong. Oh, baby. Now this will sell out. Why? Because it is a strong tank hull down. A lot of people wanted this tank. It's very rare. It's in the store. I think last time it was 20k gold, 22.5 with everything on it. Oh, it's going to drop down 1,500. If this can get down to, wow, anything under, well, to be honest, 16k, it'll get down to 16k, it'll get down to 14.5. I think at 14.5, these will start moving faster because under 15k is a good deal for a tier 10 tank. But if you can see this, if this gets to, it's got 2,919 tanks left. If this drops down to, I would say 800, whatever price it is, if you want this tank, you got to get it then, because it's not going to go much lower than the price it is at around 800 tanks left. Those are my thoughts. Sadly, there's no tanks that I would like to pick up. I do not have the IS-2SH, but the hell I'm going to pick that up. I don't care what price it is. I refuse to until it is buffed to high heaven, and it needs a freaking buff. Why didn't you do that, Wargame? Some tanks, same thing with the STG. Give it something a little bit more. Make it a little bit more competitive. I mean, the Tiger 2 got buffed to high heaven, and now so many tanks can't pen it in tier 8 and tier 7, so it's crazy. Come on, do something with this tank. Although, I must say, I do enjoy it. So, those are my thoughts. What tanks are you going to pick up? Are any of these enticing to you? At what price? Let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Of course, you can subscribe to the channel if you like. And let's hope the next bunch of tanks will be something in there for me. Nothing I've wanted so far. All the tanks I have and all the tanks I don't want. But it seems like to me, if I'm just giving my thoughts from seeing the first 2 weeks, they do have some tanks that are valuable for players who haven't played this game for a long time. But so far, nothing great for those players that have a lot of the gold tanks that are available, aka me and a lot of my friends. So nothing I think that they are going to be interested in so far, unless they don't have the K91 or the Super Conk. Let's hope there are some nice surprises in the last bunch, but I have a feeling that the summer auctions are kind of, tanks that are not really that popular, with one or two decent tanks that people are curious and they've been around for a while. Would love war games surprise me with some nice tanks. Maybe what the Object 274. That would be nice, but I mean I've got that, so I don't want it. But it would be a nice tank to add to the original. Titan, the Yo in Tier 8 that were available in this recent Blitz Cup. Yeah, I mean there'd be nice tanks to have in the garage, but nothing that I would be like, oh, I've got to have. But at the right price, I might pick them up. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Just wanted to do this quick video and hope that you are enjoying my stuff. And with that, I'll see you next time. Snugs on Blitz, out.